Hello everybody, welcome back to Stitchy AF. I'm Fiona and we are back to do a stitch with me for Gamer by Gecko Rouge. This is technically my third stitch with me, because last week when I tried to record my stitch with me after I did my update video, I just had problem after problem after problem. I first of all had to take a 2-hour break between filming to try and clean space off my phone to be able to record it. And then of course I had all the technical issues under the sun and I just could not get the video to work. So I'm really sorry that last week there was no stitch with me uploaded. I did really try, and then eventually I just got so frustrated. I just couldn't. I just couldn't work it out anymore. So my apologies. I'm really sorry about that. Before I really get started, I wanted to say a huge hello and welcome to all of the new subscribers I have had in the last couple of weeks, and obviously welcome back to all of my old subscribers. But yeah, you guys have really been liking my Stitch With Me videos, so I'm so happy that people are enjoying them. They're enjoying listening to me rant and ramble and watching my progress on Gamer. I have just over 100 subscribers now, so I'm really happy. It makes me really happy to know that you guys actually enjoy what I'm doing and listening to me chat about whatever's happening at the time. I did just notice, I went on to check, I've been getting all the notifications about new subscribers, but for some reason on my phone, YouTube has, it turned off my commenting, the comments. So I've just responded to, a whole lot of comments, and I'm really sorry it's taken me so long to respond to them. YouTube had changed my settings so that it was only showing me most important, but it wasn't actually giving me any notifications about any comments. So I wasn't aware that there were new ones there until I've just checked it. So I have tried to respond. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to your comment. But thank you so much. I do love getting the comments. And yeah, I'm just really glad that everyone is enjoying my videos. So I did have a comment. I did have a comment from someone who is also doing the gamer pattern, who just wanted to know a little bit more about my my color conversion for the hair, because they are thinking about converting theirs to blonde, which I would love to see. I think, these patterns are obviously beautiful, but I do love when someone like can put a personal spin onto a pattern. I think it brings out just another layer of beauty and personality to patterns when you can do that. Yes, I'd love to see yeah, I'll have to make sure that I keep an eye out, and because I'd love to see a blonde conversion done on her. I don't know, this camera angle probably doesn't show it. I don't even know if that camera angle is, my camera moved. But I have started to do a conversion on her hair. I've just got like the very tip of her fringe there under the G. So I will, I normally insert a progress picture anyway, so you'd probably be able to see it a little bit. I might see if I can try and like highlight it somehow on the progress photo I show, so that you can just kind of see. But basically the black conversion is obviously going to be a lot easier than converting it to any other hair color, purely for the fact that with my black conversion, my highlights are 3799, DMC 3799, and then the main body and the shadows of the black hair are going to be just 310. So that's pretty simple. With this pattern, her hair, so it's like a like I kind of lean toward it being more red, but it is probably like a reddy brown mixture, her hair, and it's got a lot of colors in it. So there is actually a lot of colors within her hair on this pattern. So I'm just carefully going through it, especially up this top. The top bit of her fringe is highlighted, so it is very light right at the tip of her hair. And then I just have to really carefully watch the symbols that come up on the pattern and kind of work out which ones I'm doing as the highlight and which ones will just be the 310. But with the conversion chart, I used the what is it now? I want to say Lord Lemon. I'm sorry guys, wealth of knowledge over here. I did post a link in the comment that I've responded to today. Oh, I bet you everyone is screaming at me because it's one of those names that is commonly, like I've seen it a fair bit in Facebook groups, and Lord Liberton or something along those lines. I'm sorry guys, I'm hopeless with that. I'll find it and I'll post it in the description box anyway, just so you can see the conversion chart I'm kind of working off. But it is a really good chart that it does give you a few options, and there are obviously options for where they have like 4 colors or you know, more colors than just the kind of 2 that I've gotten for the black conversion. So I'm sure that that conversion chart could be used. It's just a matter of trying to match it up with the symbols on the chart and then remembering kind of what you want to do with it. I'm kind of coming under and finishing this M at the moment, so there's going to be a big star here. So there's no more real hair to do here, but in my next stitch with me, I will be back in a section where her hair will be. So in my next stitch with me, I'll kind of show you what I mean with how many symbols there are and kind of how I'm just winging it. So fingers crossed it turns out, and if it doesn't, you guys can all just see me cry into my large swatch of Aida fabric if I'm like, oh no, this hair doesn't look great at all, and then I have to pull it out. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. It'll be fine. I have faith in myself. But yeah, I will post the link to the website where I got the information in regards to where I got the information for the conversion chart that I am going to use. But like I said, it's obviously going to be a lot easier for me doing black hair. Because it's not as many shades as I need to try and convert into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've had a busy day today. I've been out at my niece's. Oh, I feel like the last stitch with me I posted, I was also at a niece's birthday party. I've been out at my niece's birthday party. This one is 4. So lots of little kids running around, but it is actually my weekend without any kids. So I have the day to myself. Not that my cat got the memo, because now he's in here. We have 3 cats. Sidetracked into a completely off-topic conversation. We have 3 cats, and 2 are boys and 1 is a girl. And the girl cat, so the girl cat belongs to Joshie, and she is a bit like, she'll come to you. If she needs you, she wants a pat, she'll come to you, she'll find you. Don't try and pat her unless you're like Joshie can obviously pat her whenever he wants, and she sleeps with him every night, and she knows bedtime. Like, she will, as soon as I'm kind of like, all right, I'll come and give you a kiss goodnight, she's in there, she's finding her spot on his bed. She knows it's bedtime, we're going to bed. And she gets very lost if the other kids are here and Joshie doesn't happen to be here. He went on camp last year, and she was like, why is everyone else in bed, but he's not in his bed? Who am I sleeping with? Poor thing. But it's really adorable. So she's his cat, and we've had her since she was, so we rescued her. She was 17 weeks old. And she's the only cat in the little cage, the only kitten in the cage who wasn't playing with Joshie. All the other kittens are trying to play, and they're trying to get cuddles and pats, and Joshie said, I want that grey one. And I said, are you sure, Joshie, like all these other ones? And he's like, nope, I want that grey one. And I was like, all right, no problems, we'll get her. And it was a kitten drive, so we went for one cat, we left with two, because then they're like, oh, it's 2-for-1 kitten drive. And then I was like, all right, boys, you can each pick one out. And so Joshy picked Bessie, and then in the other cage from a different litter, Ben went into that and all of the kittens were asleep, and Loki woke up, walked down and started like nudging his face into Ben, and the lady at the RSPCA said, oh, you know, that's what cats do to show affection, and like that's him choosing you. And so Ben's like, all right, that's it. So Loki was only 15 weeks old, so they're from two different litters, but they get on so well, these two cats. But Loki is definitely a little troublemaker. He's so noisy, and his meows sound like he's saying mum. And so I'm always just like, he'll just whinge at me, mum, mum. And I'm like, oh, baby, you gotta stop. It's like, I have 4 kids. I don't need a cat that's this needy either. But he loves anyone who will give him any attention, any pats. And he has this real thing. When I'm in my office here, if he hears me talking to someone, because like when I work from home, if I'm on a Zoom meeting or something like that, he'll hear me talking and he comes up and he sits on the back of my chair and rests his head on my shoulder to be like, oh, if you're talking to someone, you could give me attention. So I always just say, oh, he's a typical male. He can't have the attention not on him. So he's heard me talking to myself, to the camera. And so he's up here like, hey, what's happening? Who are you talking to? Why is this happening? Hey, baby. And then our other cat is an outside cat. And he came with my partner. It was his cat. But he is scared of the puppy. So for no good reason, the other cats get along fine with the puppy. And the puppy just wants to be friends. But Bizzle is not having a bar of it. So he just sits on the roof and then waits for somebody to walk past and then meows at them and like, rescue me, get me off this roof. So we have to try and go out there and coax him off the roof every day just to get him inside, to give him some food and some water and some cuddles. And he's being a bit ridiculous. He's so funny. We used to joke that he was like a little gangster cat, like nothing. He wasn't scared of anything, and he'd always do these things, and you'd be like, oh, all right. And now we're just like, oh mate, why have you become such a scaredy cat all of a sudden? Like, and now of course the puppy thinks it's a game, and we're like, it's not a game. Like, anyway, animals, hey. Anyway, that's sidetracked. But yeah, Loki and Bessie it was Loki's birthday on Thursday, and he turned 4. So Loki and Bessie have been with us for 4 years. So the boys got them when they were quite little. Which is nice. Anyway, that was a major derailing from whatever I was trying to talk about. My niece's birthday party. Yeah, the kids are all at their other parents' houses. So it is just me and my partner this weekend. It's a much needed break because I've been very stressed this week with work and the kids and all of that. So a little mum break for a day is just what I needed. But like, I've been so stressed. I've stitched like once this week. Yeah, it's been a rough week. And normally like cross stitching is like that's what I do to relax myself. Like, I need that to kind of bring myself back down and get that peace and that reset to my mood and all of that. And I've been so, yeah, I just couldn't sit still, couldn't concentrate. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. It's been a bit of a month. Getting everything organised, everyone back to school. Ben's been having a bit of a rough time. So, you know, life in general has been getting a bit hard. So, just need the reset. So, it was nice to be at my sister's house for my niece's birthday party. And it was a shame that my kids couldn't be there because they were at other houses. But I think I was all peopled out because they were like, it started at 10 a.m. and I left at like 3. But they were saying, oh, we're going to do pizza if you want to stay for dinner, and you know, and I said, oh, look, I'm going to go home. I'm going to rest. My partner's at work, so he's going to go over on his way home to have a beer with them. And I said, well, I might come back, we might do dinner, but I was like, I want to go home, I want to do a bit of cross stitching, have a bit of me time, do this stitch with me and pray that it works. And yeah, because I mean, in general, I'm a homebody. I prefer to be at home. I like to have my me time. And you know, when I don't have the kids, that's kind of when I can do the most with my cross stitching and all of that, because I'm not doing family stuff. So I was like, I'll go home and I'll do a little bit of this, and then I'll think about whether I can go back and do more peopling today. When I filmed this last week, I had Ben and Josh home with me, and oh, I tell you what, I said to them, like, I filmed my first video, my update video, and they were fine. Like, they didn't, I think Josh came and sat in the background of it, but other than that, like, they didn't talk to me, they didn't, you know, they were like, oh, she's filming, whatever. And then I had to stop and I had to stop and empty out my computer, and Joshy's like, can we do a movie afternoon? And I said, yeah, baby, we'll watch a movie. And he's like, okay, cool, and when? And I was like, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to quickly film my Stitch with me, and then we'll watch a movie. And he's like, okay, no worries. And then I'm like still trying to clean off the memory and all of that, whatever was happening. Because like my update video, I had to film in 3 separate lots because it was like, oh, you've only got enough space to film 15 minutes. And then as soon as I'd film that 15 minutes, it's like, oh, you've got enough space to film another 15 minutes. Whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I can't do that with my Stitch with me. I'm not gonna be able to. So I was like, I've got to clean out this space. So then I'm trying to do this, and then like 2 hours later, Joshy's like, Mum, are we watching this movie? And I was like, yeah, babes, I'm there. Like, give me, I've just got to do this, and then we're watching a movie. And I've just made a massive knot just trying to put something back on. Oh my God. Anyway, poor boy, he was waiting so long. And then I finally got it, and then I started recording, and I said to them, like, I'm just going to record this, like, don't talk to me, you've been watered, you've been fed, give me an hour. Give me an hour. And then the minute I pressed record, what am I doing, guys? Look at this mess I've just made. I don't know how I've managed to do that, just trying to thread this back onto this bobbin. Yeah, I can't. What is happening? Cool. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, just give me this time. The minute I hit record, they're both out here. Oh, Mum, I want to do this. Mum, when are we watching this movie? Mum, I'm hungry. Can you make me lunch? Mum, I was like, okay. So it's probably a good thing that that video didn't upload, because all you would have heard was me just begging children, like, all right, just give me another 10 minutes and then I'll be done. Okay. And honestly, you would have thought I was a terrible mum, because they were whinging so much about being hungry, but they'd already had like 17 morning teas. They had a big breakfast. And I was like, they'd literally just finished chewing something before I hit record. And then the minute I hit record, they're like, I'm starving. When are you going to feed me again? I was like, all right, well, growing boys, they are never full. So it wasn't a super long video either, because then I had to stop to feed the children before they withered away to barely anything from their 10 minutes of not eating. So I got off and I made them lunch, and then Joshy and I went to pick out a movie, and then of course he didn't know what to pick. He does that. We tried to, one of his favourite movies to do like a movie marathon with, which we do quite a bit, is Pitch Perfect. But the other day I went to look for it on Netflix and Foxtel, and they've both taken it down. I haven't checked for it again. I don't know if it's gone back up. I don't know why they took it down. Anyway, they took it down. And so Joshy's really like, that's his go-to movie marathon movie and we couldn't watch it. Which sucks. The other day we had to settle on, when we tried to look for it and we couldn't find it, we had to settle on, and I mean not really settling because it was a great movie, but we watched Matilda the musical, so the new Matilda, which the boys had watched at vacation care over the Christmas holidays, and Josh had said that it was good. And Ben had complained because some of the little girls kept singing it and then got songs stuck in his head. So he was like, oh, all I can hear is these songs. But it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Matilda's great. Anyway, like the one from when I was a kid. But yeah, the Matilda the musical, it was on Netflix and it was really good. So Joshy and I watched that a couple of weeks ago. And then we just rewatched Wednesday because we couldn't figure out anything else that Joshy wanted to watch. I let him choose when he wants to do his movie marathons because otherwise he just gets bored and then I'm stuck watching, because I'll settle on a kids movie, but then I'm stuck watching a kids movie by myself because Josh wasn't super into it to start with. But anyway, so he chooses. So then we rewatched Wednesday. And then I don't know what we ended up settling on last week when we couldn't find, because that was a couple of weeks ago that we watched Matilda and Wednesday. I don't know what we ended up settling on the other day. It was something neither of us were interested in. So we'd started it and then we both got bored, and then I was trying to, of course, get my Stitch With Me uploaded and I couldn't, so then I was frustrated. So then I was like, oh, itchy nose. But yeah, other than that, we have been busy with all the sports starting back up because Ben and Viola are doing dance. So they've just finished their second week of lessons. V did a trial 2 weeks ago and absolutely loved it. So then she was really excited to go back on Wednesday and have her lesson. So that was good, because this is her first year doing a sport outside of school, and she chose dance because she watched the performances that Ben and his cousins have put on over the last year, and so she really wanted to be a part of it. So that's good. She's a bit shy, so I think it'll really help her with her confidence, because she's really excited. Because I wasn't quite sure if she'd go on stage and do the performances or how she'd go in the class, because I'm not allowed to be in the classroom with her. But she really enjoys the class, and she keeps talking about when she's going to be allowed to go on the big stage, and so she's excited about doing the concerts or the performances. So that's really good. I'm really excited for her. I think it'll really help her kind of come out of her shell a bit. So I'm excited about that. Their first performance is only maybe 4 or 5 weeks away, because it'll be our local show. They dance at the local show, so that'll be really cute to see her up there dancing. And yeah, so V and Ben are doing dance. Josh is playing futsal, and he's actually in a competition this term. So he has futsal on Tuesday afternoons. And he plays that with his actual soccer team, because they can't be apart from each other on the off season. So they play futsal on Tuesdays, and their training is about to start up again next week on Thursdays. So I feel like I'm just running around to all of these after school sports. Othello's going to play soccer this year as well, but Josh's team was full, so he couldn't get onto Josh's team with him, so they've made a new team which Othello will be on, but his team doesn't have a coach yet, so we don't know when training will be, any of that. So hopefully they find a coach in the next couple of days so that we can get sorted for that. And hopefully his training is on a day that's not packed with all the other sports. Anyway, it's good. I'd rather they did a sport and I'd rather they were doing a sport than kind of doing nothing. I think it's good for kids, gets them out of their comfort zone a little bit, and can really help with their confidence, help them get to know some kids that from other schools, other places, and yeah, so I just try and work my work schedule around it as best as I can. And Mondays and Tuesdays, my partner he doesn't work anyway, that's his weekend. So hopefully it can fall on one of those days when he's able to help out with driving them all around, getting them where they need to go. I'm so excited. There's this tower that I'm working in right here is, this tower that I'm working in is actually like a page line, so the orange line on my pattern keeper is the page grid, so 3 in 1 2 3, so the page is like this little row here is all I have left to have this page completed, so I'll have a page finish in this stitch with me. That's good. I'm at 12.12% right now. So considering I started this year, forgot what month I was in, guys. Considering I started this year with aggressive swiping, under 10%, I'm pretty happy with myself. And I mean, my pictures, like, I was like here in a random diagonal. So I feel like I've done quite a lot. I've got to take the small wins with this one because it's such a big project. There's a little alien hanging around here somewhere. Like a Space Invaders alien. Oh, it's just off. It won't be until we move over more. I'm not going to get to do that for a while. Fine, well, whatever. Didn't want to do it anyway. The more I work on it, like, the more little details you see in it. Like, I literally didn't even realize that alien was part of the background at all until, like, the other day when I was, like, really looking closely at the pattern. And I wasn't even looking at the background. I don't even know how I really noticed him because I was looking closely at it to look at the shades in the hair. And then I was like, oh, there's an alien hanging around the top here. A little Space Invader. Is it an alien or a ship? I mean, it's got eyes. It's an alien. Oh, sorry guys. Tired after my hard day partying with a 4-year-old. She's so funny. She's such a little character. Her party theme was unicorns and mermaids because she should be allowed to have more than one theme. That's what she told my sister. Well, I should have more than one theme. So she had a unicorns and mermaids. She's so cute. I got a photo. The party started at 10 this morning. I got a photo at 7:30 of her in her party outfit. That's so cute. And like, she's so sassy. See, it's hard because like I've had the boys, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the boys can get pretty sassy. And Ben is a big character, but they never really had like, you know, the three-nager thing with the attitude and the carry on and stuff. But like my nieces and like V, my stepdaughter, she didn't have it either because, I mean, she got cranky. She had an attitude, but it was like the attitude that me and my partner would joke about, and I'd be like, one day she's gonna make her brothers pay. Like, she's not going to hold back on these boys and they're going to regret everything they've ever done to her. But she was never like real sassy. My nieces are the sassiest people. Like, I said to my mum one time, because I'm one of 3 girls, and I said to my mum, like, I'm so sorry for everything we've ever done to you. I don't know how you survived having 3 daughters in the house. Because my niece, so the one who just turned 14, she when she was about, probably when she was about 4, she was sitting at the kitchen table, just like colouring in or something, and my sister was cooking dinner. So her back was to Maddie, wasn't talking to her, nothing was said, and then all of a sudden Madison just gets up and goes, "Ugh, you're ruining my life," and then just stormed off to her room and like slammed the door, and my sister just turned around and she was like, "I didn't do it. What?" Like, she's like, "I didn't even do anything." And I was just like, yeah, I was like, I don't know if I could be a girl mum. Oh, like, that was before, obviously, I was with my partner and we had V. But I was like, oh, I don't know if I could handle that. Because my sister was just like, I wasn't even talking to her. I didn't look at her. I didn't. She's like, I was just cooking dinner. I was washing vegetables in the sink. And all of a sudden, and like, yeah, they've all been sassy since then. But Sophie is like next level sass because she gets it from her older cousins. And she's so funny. Like, kids are just, they're so funny sometimes. So she's playing with one of her new dolls that she got for her birthday. And we're sitting around at a table, and then her and her little friend come toddling out, and then they're like, we're going to the park. And we were like, oh, you're going to the park? And her little friend's mum said, who's the mum and who's the dad? And then Sophie just turns around, looks her dead in the eye and says, we left the dads at home. And then just walked off. And I was just like, oh girl, you're killing me. Just like with the look and everything. We left the dads at home. I was like, okay, girl. Like, you do you, Sophie. Absolutely. So funny. And it's like, you know, it's so funny because V is such a tomboy. Like, she doesn't want dolls, and people have tried over the years to buy her dolls, or she got given a really beautiful jewelry case, and she gets given like lipstick and, you know, all of that type of stuff. I mean, she's only 5, so like not lots of stuff like that, but you know, headbands and all of that type of thing that you think, oh, a little girl would want. And we always try and say to people like, oh, I don't know, I don't think buy her that, like maybe look at a monster truck. Like, but my partner's mum went through a real phase where she was set on, no way, she's a girl, I'm buying her girl stuff. And I was like, yeah, but you're really wasting your money. Like, she doesn't do anything with it. And I've just like donated all of her dolls and stuff because she never played with them, and if she did, she'd play rough games with them, like she wasn't nurturing them and putting her babies to bed. She was like bouncing monster trucks off their heads. And so one year we just said, like, listen, don't buy her what your gut is telling you to buy a 3-year-old girl. Buy her a truck. And she got this dump truck for Christmas, and she was so happy. But they like bought her the dump truck and jewelry, and I was like, good compromise. I like it. So I was a bit surprised when she wanted to do dance and have the pretty dress and all of that, because she's never, like, she has dress ups, but her princess dress ups are still in her cupboard, and she dresses up like a Ninja Turtle police officer when the boys and her play dress ups. So I was like, yep, I've never had the sassy girl who, like, Sophie does her makeup to go to kindy. She does her own eyeshadow. She was adorable. Because it is everywhere. She's not making any YouTube makeup tutorials anytime soon. She is just rocking her own look. And my sister's like, I can't help her. This is what she's doing. And I was like, cool. Do it. But yeah, V's never really been into any of that. But now with dance, she'll be wearing the, you know, the pretty dress, and she has to have her hair done really pretty. And I think that they do let the little girls wear a little bit of like glittery eyeshadow and stuff as part of their costume, which I think is why Sophie likes to try to put her own eyeshadow on, is because for dance she sometimes gets to wear like glittery eyeshadow. And obviously because she hangs out with the 14 and 11-year-olds, so but yeah. I got my little tomboy. So I can't wait to see her in a dress, because she looks adorable when she wears them. I mean, you know, she's getting older. She's turning 6 in a couple of months. And she is starting to kind of be a bit more interested in wearing dresses to things. And like for Christmas, she picked out a Christmas dress that she wanted instead of having a Christmas shirt for Christmas. So I'm just gonna roll with it, but she's not getting like makeup tips or anything from me, because I'm not that type of a person. She's gonna have to visit her cousins. Talk to them about it. I don't need to put on makeup to sit and cross stitch, so I'm not about that life. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do it, no matter how much I've tried in the past, or how many YouTube tutorials I've tried to watch to be like, teach me anything. No, it's not me. Oh, it is so hot this weekend, and tomorrow's meant to be like 37 degrees. Ugh, I'm not looking forward to it. My partner is, because that's going to be like the first day of his weekend, and that's when he normally does like all of the jobs that we have at the house. So building the deck, which he's nearly finished, which is exciting. But he's like, it's going to be so hot, I can't do that. And then I was like, oh, you'll have to try and find another job, because he's the type of person who can't sit still. Like, he gets so bored. He needs to have a job. So we always kind of make sure he has enough stuff to have at least 2 or 3 of his jobs on the go. Oh, sorry, I bumped my camera. To have his jobs on the go when he is at home, so he doesn't get bored. So he said he won't be able to finish the deck off because he'll be out in the full sun. So he's like, he doesn't really want to do that. And I mean, I don't really want him to do that. He doesn't drink enough water as it is. So the last thing I want is for him to get heat stroke and make himself sick. So he's going to try and work on he's designed some mailbox that he wants to make to replace the old one we have here. It'll have like a little parcel collection thing in it and everything. He's into cars and stuff, so he's got an old car door and he's freehand drawn the pattern on it and everything to match like a racing car. So it'll look like some racing car from some year. You can tell I really understand what he tells me. Anyway, it'll look good because he is good at what he does. It'll look good, and he's gonna have like a parcel compartment in the back and all of that. And so he's had it all sitting in the shed. He's got everything there. He's drawn the picture on. He just needs to paint it and then like weld the like catchment thing into the back of it so that it can be a mailbox. And he hasn't done it yet. And I said to him when we got the new puppy, I said, you have to get it done because I've ordered stuff. I ordered cross-stitching stuff, and I said to him, if the postie just leaves it and the puppy gets to it, he's going to chew it up. And I mean, I would be devastated if I came home and found my cross-stitching stuff all over the lawn. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he hasn't done it. And then last night we come home and the puppy was there and he's playing, and like he plays fetch with himself. So he'll get his toy, he'll get one of his soft squeaky toys, and he throws it up into the air and he catches it. Like he plays by himself. It is the sweetest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, and he's playing, and I said to my partner, I was like, where did this sheep come from? And he's like, what? And I said, it's a dog toy. Because he's like, oh, is it one of the kids' toys? I said, no, it's a dog toy. It's got a squeaker in it. And I was like, where'd this Shaun the sheep come from? And he's like, I don't know. And then I thought back and I thought, oh, I got a message to say that the Waggly box, which is like a puppy subscription box that sends you toys and treats, had been delivered. And I said to my partner, like, oh no, the puppy subscription box got delivered today. And then we look over, and under the trampoline is this ripped up box. It comes with 3 toys. So you got like a rope toy, this sheep, and a tiny little like chewy bone. And then it comes with like 2 bags of treats. Anyway, needless to say, I don't know what the treats were because they were all eaten. We found all the toys. We're out there in the dark with our torches on trying to pick up all this thing, and I was like, oh my god, I just hope he didn't swallow any like plastic or cardboard. But anyway, he had a good time. And I said to my partner, in his defense, it was addressed to him. But I was like, I would have appreciated him waiting for me to help him open it. But it was addressed to it. So my partner was like, it's going to be hot this weekend. I will work on your mailbox. And I was like, good idea. Because we have like one delivery guy who doesn't care about the dogs being in the yard. He'll come in and he'll still put things down near our front door. And then we have like another delivery guy who he won't come into the yard. And so if it's something he can fit in the tiny mailbox that we have, he'll put it in there. If not, he'll just leave like one of those little cards to say go and pick it up from the post office, which I don't mind. Anyway, it must have been the delivery guy who doesn't mind coming in and seeing the dogs. And I just thought, oh, well, whoops. And so, yeah. So I think that's tomorrow's job, is that we're going to be trying to fix, get everything together and get that mailbox sorted to get up there so that Bear can't tear into any more parcels. What's that? 100. Oh. I hope you can't hear this mower man going outside. My next door neighbour, she's lives by herself. She's an older lady, and her son, her must be her son-in-law. Yeah. So she lives like beside us, and then her daughter and her family live directly behind her house, which is like in the back corner of our yard. And so the son-in-law, when he mows the lawn, he drives his ride-on mower up around the block and past our house to go to her house to mow the lawn. So it's obviously lawn day at their houses, because he's just driven up and he's out the front of our house now, mowing her lawn. I'm really loving these purples that are coming through in this background, like now that we're under the banner. It's a different background to what's kind of around the outside of all of this, and it's these nice purple swirls. Looks really cute. And we'll have half a star done when we finish this. It'll be I'm excited now that we're down below this banner. We're going to get into some of the actual details. Some of the actual details of her, because just under, under this star is another star, but just beside it, so the two towers beside it in those columns down, Sorry, big yawning him. That's all her hair. And then it'll be the top of her head. And then her face. I don't know, will I get to her face in this? Oh yeah, if I work to the bottom, I'd get the top of her face. I'll probably get some of her eyes. Wait, where am I? Sorry, I'm just looking at a picture of the thing. Oh yeah, I'd get like, oh cool, by the time I get down to the bottom of where I'm at, like where I've worked all my other columns down to, we will have like her eyes and like the top of her nose done. So like the top half of her face. Oh, that's so exciting. I do that to myself and then I realize I don't know how quick I'm going to get down there to do that. Might still take a while. Although, I don't know, I think we could do it. Talk myself up here. We'll make that a goal by the end of February. Well, we're halfway through February, so that might not work. Whoa! The cat just pulled on the bottom of my fabric there. We'll try to get to at least some of the face, the top of the face, by the end of the month. How's that for a plan? That's a great plan. I cannot even remember what I talked about last week in my Stitch with Me. If it was anything important. Oh God, there's a cat. Loki, you can't do this, dude. Sorry guys. You nearly just had a cat climb on top of the project and block the camera out. Yeah, I feel like I had something important to say last week, but then again, who knows? It was a whole week ago. It was Benny's birthday last week, so I did talk about that a little bit, but he is 11 now, and that seems crazy to me, but they just like grow up too quickly. I'm not a huge fan of them growing up. Like we're talking about what high school he needs to go to next year. And that's scary. I think all mums feel that though. It's like they're about to start high school and you're like, alright, but I remember giving birth to them like yesterday. So, like my niece who turned 14, she just went and had her first job trial today. And I was like, how is she old enough to have a job? She's a baby. Anyway, she loved it. It's so good. It was with a little coffee van that goes around. Like it, obviously during the week it stops and it parks and it does sales, but it goes around to all of the farmers markets, and I think the next shift she has is for the wedding expo that's coming up. So, and she's so excited. She learned how to make all the iced coffees, the iced drinks, and the guy said, you know, if this works out really well, we want to introduce a fairy floss machine and you can do the fairy floss. So she is like so happy. It'll be so good. So yeah, but it's also like at the same time you're like, oh, stop growing up, like. I think this next colour I'm going to use is this really pretty purple. I mean, they're all pretty purples, but you know, like when you work on a project long enough that the symbols, you start to know the colours, and or like the number of the floss number or whatever. I never thought I'd get to that stage with this project because there's 99 colours. But surprisingly I do I have started to slowly, like, I'll know the symbol and I know where I'm looking for them. Yeah, look at this purple. Can you see that one? This is so zoomed up, I can't see my camera. I could see that it was on there, but I can't see it without leaning up. I don't know why my setup feels so different this week than it did last week or the week before, because it is not different, guys. I don't know what's happening. I need to look into a better stand or something, and a better stand and a better video editing situation, because like for the last week, me trying to get this, because it was like the reason I couldn't get my last stitch with me to upload, it was saying that it was because of, like, it couldn't accept the file because it wasn't the right file type, but it was an MP4, which is what all of the other video files were that I would upload. So I was like, it doesn't make any sense, why aren't you accepting it? So I think it was just the program, and it's been crashing a lot lately on me, so I have to try and work something else out, because I don't want to have to do all of that work again. And like, I wanted to have a video up for you, and then I just couldn't get it. And I mean, I don't think that I'm too bad technically. So I was like, it's not something I'm doing. Like, the fire was right. The size wasn't like too big. So I don't know. I don't know what the problem was. But I couldn't solve it, so I didn't solve it. I just gave up. I thought 3 days of messing with it and trying to get it to work was enough. For my sanity, I had to just let that one go. I did say, that's what I said last week. So I have got all of the stuff together to start the, oh God, itchy nose. All of the stuff together to start the mini boho seaside. So I do want to start that soon. And I have all of, oh, well, I mean, obviously I have. So I do want to start the mini boho seaside soon. So I will do a stitch with me for that. And I will do it like right from the start for progress. So I can kind of, yeah, like document my whole progress on that project. I think that would be pretty cool. So sometime in the near future, I will do that one. And I will probably, maybe, not sure, about just doing a few random stitch with me's with the rainbow succulents. I just don't want, like, because they're blocks of colour, I just don't want it to be too boring for everyone. But yeah, I would like to do a bit more and make sure I can get a few of these videos up for you guys to watch and enjoy. 76. Nearly finished this block. I wasn't happy last week either because I mentioned it in my first stitch with me. I like to have kind of a satisfying end point for me. So if I can do the whole tower in a stitch with me, that to me is like good. I've achieved something. It's a satisfying point for me to end on. But because my children were starving, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to go and cook lunch. I kind of just ended mid-block, so it wasn't a satisfying end anyway. You just didn't miss too much. I wasn't gonna finish the block on camera anyway, I don't think, because it was the block that had the it was the tower that had the start of the fringe in it, so I needed to concentrate to work out what I was doing exactly with that anyway. I didn't want to kind of mess up. I think it looks alright, hopefully. That's come across in the photo I shared before. Um, I worried that maybe the 3799 was going to be too grey, like it would look like grey hair rather than black hair. Especially because this top part of her fringe is so light. So that is my main concern at the moment. And like it is light for a large chunk of it. So I want to be able to get this kind of in and done to a certain point where I can kind of see whether maybe it is too much and I need to rethink how I'm doing the hair. Because that is one of my concerns. I mean, looking at it now, it like 3799 is that really dark grey. So I don't think it will look as bad once it starts hitting more of the black. But we will have to just see how that goes, whether or not it is. I do need to kind of look at something else, because I think that's where my concern is at the moment, is that maybe it will look too grey right there at the top. But because I am just doing the black and the grey, the 3799, as my colours for it, I'm hoping that like I won't have to follow the pattern exactly where they're putting the highlights and all of that. So I should be able to kind of merge it in. I should be able to merge it in a lot easier. And hopefully once it's up against the black, it does look a bit darker. Because it is quite dark, obviously, but oh, I'm so sorry. This fish tank the filter is so loud in it at the moment, and I should have directed it down into the tank before I started filming this. So I'm really sorry, you can probably hear that in the background. I'm kind of used to the noise, so I can drown it out for a while, but it's just become really noticeable to me. Few random little colours. And then we're done. Yeah, I've been really slack this week, this month so far. I've stitched whatever I did for the stitch with me last week. And then I might have stitched Sunday last week for a bit. And then I think I've done one other day. So it's what, the 11th of February now. And I've stitched like 3 days this month. Oh, well, this would be the 4th day. So, don't know how well that bodes for my whip dough goals, or the fact that I wanted to complete like a whole trip across on rainbow succulents. So my update video next month might be an interesting watch to see if I've actually done what I set out for myself to do. Actually, that's what I need to do. I need to, one of them is a new start on a Grinch project for Benny. So I need to, it's only going to be a little project, so I will pull everything out, all the colours and the fabric and all of that, and then I'll put it all in a project bag that I can take to work, and I'll work on that as my lunchtime project. That will be good. Get some get some progress on him, because that's what I love, having like a little small one to take to work that I can just quickly work on in my lunch break. Not that I why can I not get this through this bit? Oh, it's like when someone watches you typing over your shoulder and you can't get it, can't spell a word or something that is meant to be super easy. That's not even gonna get me. Alright, whatever. Park that down there. 3 more to go. I've got these random little short bits now that have been cut off the section. Oh my god. So sorry. I need to go have a nap. Not a nap. My skin's so dry, I keep picking at that. At my fingers, I need to stop. I need to put some moisturising cream on. Number 32. Oh, I just heard voices and I was like, oh, where is that coming from? There is a bunch of kids, a bunch of girls riding past on their bikes past the house, and they just stopped at my fence to call out to the puppy so they could all pat him. That's so cute. The kids go out every morning. Oh, they're still just sitting there looking at him. Oh dear, that is adorable. He's so friendly. He makes friends with everyone who comes along here. But when the kids are out there, they like introduce him to people. So these little girls, they do know Bear's name, and they've met him. The kids take him across to the park, so they all meet him at the park and everything as well. So they know he's friendly. So they just stopped to say hello. How cute is that? There's a group of kids there's a school bus that picks kids up right on the corner of our house in front of our fence. And my kids go out every morning and play with the dogs, play with the puppy and all of that before they have to go to school, and try and wear out some of his energy before we have to leave the house. So they go out and then they talk to these kids that are waiting at this bus stop, and make sure that Bear goes to the fence so that these kids at the bus stop get to say goodbye to him before they go to school. It is so adorable. I'm so glad he's a good puppy like that. Like, he'll go to the fence and he's really nice for strangers, and he doesn't like bark, or he'll bark from like the other side of the yard, like a hey, I'm here, like a hello bark, and then he runs over, but he doesn't like continue to bark at anybody or anything like that. He doesn't bark at other dogs. He just does like a quick little hello bark, and then he runs over to get pats and whatever. And he's really calm when he's at the fence. Like, he won't jump up onto the fence for strangers or any of that. And he'll stand there and he lets them pat him, and so that's really good, because like the last thing I'd want is for him to be like, we're right beside a park and people walk along this road all the time with their dogs and their kids, and so I don't want him like barking at everybody going past, and everything. So I'm glad that he's friendly. He's a good boy. Right, so that is our last little one there. Is 200 stitches. We've got half a star. How exciting. One more little thing and then I'll move back down. And then my next stitch with me, I will make sure I am in a section where her hair is, so you guys can have a look at what I'm doing there. Not that so sorry. Not that I'm doing too much, it's 2 colours, but it'll be good. I'll show you guys that. Oh, and happy page finish. I just finished a page. What's my page? Yeah. So, finished a page. Yeah, next time I'll try and be down. Obviously it's still red in this thing, but I'll try and be down in some of these sections here where it's will be a lot of her hair, so we can have a look at how I'm going to get that sorted, get that done. Awesome, excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with me. Fingers crossed this works so I can get this up, and you can all enjoy it. Thank you to all of my old subscribers, new subscribers. Welcome to anybody new. Like and subscribe. Oh, punched the camera. Like and subscribe, and yeah, hope to see you all again soon. Have a good week. Bye, everybody.